The Fshusho Mathra. 1. Introduction to the increase of our homage and praise of God. We offer this service, which, as our defense, may shield us, which is worship, with its beneficent results, and blessedness is with it of a verity, and piety as well. The Pazandas, and of this worship, the results here mentioned are the well thought, the word well spoken, and the deed well done. And let this our worship shelter us from the da'ava and from the evil-minded man, too. And to this worship do we confide our settlements and persons for protection and care, for guarding and for oversight. 3. And in this worship will we abide, O Ahura Mazda, and with joy. And in this worship do we exercise our choices, and to it will we approach, and to it will we belong, yea, to revering worship will we confide our settlements and persons for protection, and for care, for guarding, and for oversight, to such worship as is the praise of such as you, Mathra. 4. The owner of herds is the righteous one, and he is victorious when he strikes, and thus he is best. The Pazandas. We therefore offer this service for the herd owners. For the herd owner is the father of the kine, by help of him who follows the ritual order, and he is the father of the holy man as well, and of the sanctified creation. He is, in verity, the bestower of blessings, and to him, O ye bountiful immortals, we render, and his do we make, your greatness, your goodness, and your spiritual beauty. And let this man, the cattle owner, approach to guard over us, and may he be our watchman together with the righteous order, and with store for our nourishment, and full generous liberality, together with sharing of the goods, with gentleness, and with Ahura Mazda's sacred fire. 5. O ye bountiful immortals, as ye have made us, so do ye save us, holy men and saintly women, as we are, and steadfast in the faith. Save us, O ye bountiful immortals, ye who rule aright, and who dispose of all aright, for none other do I know, save you, than with your righteousness do ye save us. 6. And we offer hereby our thoughts, our words, our actions, our herds, and men to the bountiful Spirit, and may the creative stars of Ahura Mazda, the Creator, shine down on us, and round about us, with full herds and healthy settlements, with healthy herds and healthy men, and with all in vigor, and endowed with the blessing of the Lord. 7. Praise to thee, O fire of Ahura Mazda, mayest thou come to us in the greatest one of the engrossing interests, for the help of the great effort, for the joy-producing grace of the great interest of our cause. Grant us both weal and deathlessness. 8. We sacrifice to the entire collection of the praises of the Yasna with a careful structure of their language, which has reached the most its object, and we offer our homage in our celebrations to thy body, O Ahura Mazda, the most beautiful of forms, these stars, and of that one, the highest of the high, the Pazandas, such as the sun was called. Yea, we worship the praises of the Yasna, which were the production of the world of old. Now, some of that reminds a person of this, in the Islam teaches that the scripture itself will bear witness, and we see this going on here. And the service on the behalf extends to all the sanctified creation. So when they're saying worship, it doesn't render as, oh, these things are gods and we're praying to them so that they may intercede. You don't quite see that, but they do automatically if they're witnesses, what they're. But anyways, this piece in the Gathic dialect has claims to an antiquity as high as Yasna 12. It recalls the Gathas in many ways. The increaser of cattle is identified with the thrifty tiller and as the typical saint. The Pahlavi has sued as a partial transcript, but the word is obscure. When we offer this service in verse 1, which as our defense, also in verse 1, see Nepatu and Nema with K11 is what we have, which is worship. With it of a verity, Ha and Get is like the Indian Sa, Gat, are possibly from Hak. And we confide, as we make mention of, in verse 2. In verse 3, and there the praise is such as you, we have Kshma Vato is often Gathic for you. And for the herd owners, in parentheses, in 4, for the herd owners, the Bazand as Fshusho is a plural and not Gathic. Are we make men cattle owners? We invite them to be such. And sanctified creation, the creation is mentioned in connection with the kine. The typical stands at the head of the clean creation. And the sort of blessing to who might be the literal way to translate that in verse 4. And bountiful immortals. And so the root Veda, the Shah, also the Pahlavi Bara Dahisni, and that is related to sharing of the goods, as we are steadfast in the faith. In verse 5, the male and the female holy ones. Akini va atashik u harmaz dad. The word is difficult. That's with the gentleness is the note for that. In verse 4, the male and female holy ones, the steadfast in the faith that we see mentioned there. And with your righteousness do ye save us. Also in verse 5 we have, think of Yasna 34, verse 7, and shine down and round about us. In verse 6, literally, maybe be closely beheld by the creative lights, or perhaps the seeing of certain star patterns help a person to be creative. Astrology and other oracles shouldn't be that we look at the patterns of the stars and say, oh, this, it's putting our beliefs in it rather than believing in it, expressing certain things through it, The allusion to Maza ya Ungo is made with the engrossing interest in verse 7. Avo Nafsman is that's in the next one.